all, media, all the officials from the Anguilla T20 Premier League, Digicel officials, and we are delighted to be here this afternoon. And we just want to welcome all of you to this official draw, where we'll be drawing for places in terms of where teams and who teams will be playing against throughout this tournament. So again, we want to invite you and thank you for coming. And now I will ask Dr. Webster, the president of this tournament, to say a few welcome words. Dr. Webster.
Good afternoon all, and thank you very much for coming out. It's good to see this type of enthusiasm. And certainly last year we had the first tournament, and it went very well, I would say. It generated a lot of attention, and certainly the performance was beyond spectacular. We had the teams that showed up, competed hard, and the Farrington won. Congratulations to them. And certainly we look forward to a great tournament this year. I certainly want to thank all the sponsors, and certainly Digicel today for having us here, continuing to show that they are committed to looking at making sure that our young people have all the avenues for success, to show off their talent, to have the potential to make it in cricket, but in other areas, to realize their full potential. So I'm happy that everyone is here. I thank the organizing committee, thank the managers, thank the players and the captains. Certainly, we look forward to today being the day that starts this tournament. And then when we start after Easter, I know that we'll have competitive games. Thank all the officials, the umpires, the commentators, everyone. I want to thank Ann Pauls, the CEO of Digicel, for all she's done, and also as the president of the Anguilla Cricket Association. So again, thank you all for being here. I look forward to great games, and certainly, we will say in a couple of weeks, let the games begin. And I'll turn it back over to you, Chairman, for the great work that you have done. Let's give you a round of applause.
Well, thank you, Doc. And again, we are delighted to be here at Digicel, and we cannot thank them enough. Thank Anne for all she has done over the years for cricket in Anguilla, and continuing to show that type of interest. We're going to move right on, and we're going to ask some of the officials to come forward and just say a few words. So from each of the teams, we will start off with the champions for the last year's tournament, and nobody else than the manager, Mr. Rudolph Proctor. Mr. Proctor.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Honorable Premier, CEO of Digicel, managers and staff, members of Digicel, other officials, other team members, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As Mr. Rogers correctly stated, the Farrington Super Sixers was the winners of the first tournament in this league. And we are going to be back again to defend our title. I just want to say up front before I go on to the further remarks is that we have already acquired all our international and regional players. So they will be back on the side. And this is not to frighten anybody, but just to state a correct fact. It is again a great pleasure for us and the Super Sixers to be once again provided with this privilege by the Anguilla Premier League to participate in this tournament. And we are going to do so with the same level of enthusiasm and discipline that we displayed in the last tournament. It was a good tournament. It was well run. There was a few glitches, and as we went along, players, teams, and the Digicel, not the Digicel, the APL management put together some plans to take care of those glitches. So we shouldn't have those this year, maybe a few new ones, because in life, that's how it runs. We want to thank Digicel for continuing to play a role in sponsoring some aspects of the game and for having us here this evening. And we want to thank you and your staff for having us here.
Go Hammer.
Huh?
Go Hammer.
Oh.
Hammer got a new job.
Yeah, well, as I said before, we are ready and willing, and you can expect nothing from us but the best come the day the tournament starts and beyond. Thank you all, and good luck to the other teams.
Thank you very much, Mr. Proctor, and certainly we look forward to having the Super Sixers back again. As we move on, we are trying to, could you all come forward and ease the, thank you. Yes, that is what I wanted Mr. Proctor to do. And
This recording, right? No, okay. No, I want to.
he's going to get to it after. But, okay, so we'll move right along. We'll move right along with, the next gentleman I'm going to call is a gentleman who has been around cricket for a very long time. He has never lifted a bat, but certainly all the effort you could get from anybody to help continuing cricket development. He's also a member of the Cricket Association. I want to invite October man, Mr. Rodney Ray.
I'll adopt the protocol already established and say good evening to all gathered. Why? On behalf of the Beamers Cricket Club, I wish to express our sincere thanks to the organizing committee of the Anguilla Premier League for organizing the second tournament in as many years. We are particularly pleased because there has been a dearth of cricket in recent times, and that tournament last year was just what was needed to inject some new life into cricket in Anguilla, and it proved to us that cricket is still the #1 sport in Anguilla, #1 sport in the Caribbean. Cricket is the Caribbean's game. And we are happy again to be competing. I'm not going to get into any controversy about statements made earlier about winning. That is history. But I want to say that given the lineup that we have this year on paper, and we believe we can convert that into practice, that we will definitely win without any controversy this year. We have maintained the core of our professional stars, and they have been on the park, some of them, and they are already beginning to prepare very seriously for what we regard as a serious tournament. So we want to say a big thank you to the organizing committee of the Anguilla Premier League and to thank them for going out and getting the sponsorship to continue this good game of cricket. We also want to say thanks to Digicel for continuing to support cricket in Anguilla and the region. And we are particularly pleased that the local manager, Mrs. Ann Pauls, is also the president of the Anguilla Cricket Association. And she has a passion for the game, and she's continuing to put her money where her mouth is. To all the other competing teams, we look forward to a good tournament. Paro said there may be new problems. We don't anticipate, we don't want to be negative, we don't anticipate any problem. We're going to play the game. It's a gentleman's game. Cricket is a gentleman's game, and we're going to play the game with a spirit of cooperation and friendliness and rivalry, but good rivalry. We're in it to win. So this is Anguilla, and we have never been people of violence and enmity, except 1967. So again, the Beamers, we are very happy to be back, and we will be playing hard and playing hard to win. And thanks to all for this wonderful opportunity and the hospitality provided by Digicel. Thank you all very much. Yes, we have an international player as well. I will not disclose the name here. The committee should know the person.
Well, it's warming up. And thank you, Mr. Ray, for continuing to be there for our youngsters. And at this point, I want to call a youngster from Razor Massive, Mr. Ashon Hodge.
Thank you, everyone. All right. What can I say? Well, it's very exciting that cricket will be back on the park. It's been a very long time until, you could have said that. And although the Beamers and the Super Sixers may think, that they are, the head horses in the race, Razor Masters may have a thing or two to say about that, so, I'll stay humbly confident, and I'll just let them know that I'm looking forward to the tournament. Thank you.
You have secret players too? Oh, secret players. Well, everybody going with the championship, and I'm certain the next team, I'll call on Mr. Leon Lake, and he'll tell you what he will do, or his team. Put your hands together for Mr. Lake.
Which one? Protocol established. Good afternoon. And I want to thank you and Digicel for doing this for the APL and all the association members. It was a great tournament last year. But winning is more about, winning is just not about who come first. Being together, sticking together is winning. And in my management, Mr. Leonard Bennett, Oliver, and Cardigan Connor, you can't get a better team. We've been together all year. So that's winning. To the media, to the Clean Stream and Live, you all did a great job last year. I want to thank you. And hopefully this year when you do the finals, it'll be pointers on top. And yes, we have international players. We have the best player, the first player from Anguilla to make the West Indies team, Mr. Omari Banks. And I rest my case.
Thank you, Mr. Lake. And we will move right on. And we are down to the foreign stars. And Mr. White is Ashley White. Could you get it wind up so that you could?
What can I say? Just want to say thanks for having us this year. We'll be participating this year for our first time, make it a fifth team. We're just coming out here to have fun, expose our talent, and just go through. Farrington Super Sixers champions, congratulations from last year. Beamers runners-up. This year we'll just have a bit more competition, and just like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. White. And come in. Just before I call on Anne, I want to spin a bit and call on our Umpires Association, Mr. Keith Lake, and then we're going to come straight.
Good evening, everyone. Can I please accept the protocol that has already been established? Thank you. I must say this is a real great opportunity for me to come here to address this gathering, to address something that has been so neglected in Anguilla, which is cricket. I think we have underplayed the importance of cricket in the development of our youth in the region. And I want to thank the organization of this tournament. I also want to thank the sponsors who have so avidly decided to continue their sponsorship for this tournament. I want to thank the players for their support, their really tenacious appetite for competition, because that has been lacking in a lot of years in our competition. Now, I go to an area where a lot of people don't really compliment, and that is where the officiators of the sport come in, because we get some of the most tongue-lashing that you could ever think about. Some of us make mistakes, which is, I mean, it's inevitable. We do. We are human. We do err. But sometimes when we do good, nobody still compliments. But still, in all essence of the sport, we do our best, and we thank those players who really go out there and help us to make the game and last year's competition to what it was. If I had to choose a team, which I don't think I should, but I know within my heart which team I would support, who was the most sporting team in the competition, even though I have had to make some serious decisions to certain players in that team. But, however, I want to thank all the players, and I said before, I want to thank everybody for coming out and really making this game what it was last year. And to all the guys who officiated in the sport, I want to give them my heartfelt thanks for all the support that they did. And I want to also thank Mr. Calvin Hughes, who he has been a professional umpire before I was, but unable to health reasons, he was unable to continue to the end of the tournament. But he deserves all the best you can have. I also want to thank Mr. Ralph Hodge for his guidance, because he was the first official, fully qualified umpire in Anguilla, and we still owe him allegiance because he's still there when we need him. To all the other youngsters who have come up before us, like I said, we owe them a lot, because without them, this tournament could not happen. So, as I said before, I want to thank the players, the organization, the organizers, the sponsors, and I want to give my heartfelt thanks to everybody. And I'm looking forward to a tournament even better than we had last year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. At this stage, I also want to recognize some of our hard workers. Kathleen, she's somewhere in the back. Dolores, she there? Minette. And a gentleman who almost 20 times a day would be calling my phone, Lanville Harrigan. Thank you, sir. We certainly appreciate. The next person who I'm going to call is now doing what some of us used to do years ago. Cricket had absolutely no money. Mr. Ray used to take the little few dollars he had in his pocket. I used to take the cents I had in my pocket, and we used to try to keep cricket going. Mr. Ray, remember those days? Good. Well, there's a lady who has probably run her husband broke the amount of money that she has spent to keep cricket going. And I really appreciate, I don't know how many people really understand and appreciate what she has done over these years, but I do, because I know how difficult it is. And I really want to thank Anne for what you have done for cricket and for Anguilla. And I want to welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you, all the players, all the team, the Premier, for creating this wonderful event. It's something we all really got behind and really loved seeing what came out of it. It's the end of my tenure as the Anguilla Cricket Association president. I'm going to hand over the reins to the next lucky person, but I'll always be there to support the players, the teams, and cricket. It's going to be a sad goodbye, but it's something I really don't have the time doing Digicel and doing the presidency of the Cricket Association. But before I leave, we do have a lovely donation coming from the Lord's Taverners. It's a 20-foot container, and it's filled with all sorts of gear. So that's going to be coming shortly. So that is, yeah. So that's my farewell to the Cricket Association, to cricket. But I'm always around. I'll always be there to support you. And we have to get the Players Pavilion built, because if we build it, they will come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Anne. And at this juncture, I also want to thank the media for all that you have done for years and continue to do, and we expect you to do even better this year. We want...
Updates on the players from last year, what they're doing these days. I know Carol don't want to talk about that.
Farah, you want to? So we'll leave that until the start of the... so we'll go straight to the draw. We want some of the ladies to come to assist us with the draw. So that we can decide or see who will be playing whom and who will come out as what. So, we're going to shake up the box so that nobody don't say, the ladies will shake the box, so that nobody don't say that we did anything in favor of anyone. So all the teams come around so that you can see what is happening, and then we will know what we're going to do. As we draw the names, that team, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So the first team drawn will be number 1. Okay? Who is going first? Go ahead. You're gonna be... The number 1 team is the Beamers. Team number 1. Beamers. Burton. Thank you. You are number 1, and we will continue. The number 2 team, Foreign Stars. Foreign Stars. Welcome. The third team is Razor Massive. Number 3. Razor Massive. What is empty? Oh. The fourth team, Pointers, Point United. Mr. Oliver, Point United. And the fifth team would be the Super Sixers. So that team will get the first bye. Okay? So there ends the first segment and of the draw, and we will get back to you because Mr. Calvin Hughes, this will now go to the umpires, Mr. Calvin Hughes, Mr. Ralph Hart, Mr. Keith Lake. They will then put all the games together. So we will not have anything to do with it. They will then present us with the schedule of all the matches. They are an independent body, and therefore, whatever, they will come back to us with the schedule. Okay? So again, we want to thank you all for coming, and we want to thank Digicel, and now we will have some eats and drinks and so forth. Somebody else I wanted to... Is there anybody else from any of the teams, the managers? Just before we think, because Mr. Cornell Harrigan has to do the vote of thanks, but just before we go, any persons from any of the teams want to say anything? Mr. Minute want to say something? Okay.
I just want to thank Digicel for doing such a great job and committing again to the second Premier League T20 competition. And I want to thank the people of Anguilla for coming out and support, and again, has committed themselves to come out and support good cricket. And I must tell you, this year is going to be better than last year because I have a lot in store. I'm going to make you laugh. I'm going to make you spend all your money, and you're going to have a great time. It's only going to be fun, fun, fun. So again, welcome to the second T20 competition in Anguilla. Bring out your entire family. Let's have a great time. No problem.
Thank you, Mr. Minute. Thank you very much. And if there are none other teams that want to say something, I will now call on Mr. Colonel Harrigan from the Management Committee to give the welcome, the vote of thanks. Mr. Harrigan. These little gadgets got me going.
Good afternoon, all. My job is simple, just to say thanks. However, I would like to first express my appreciation on behalf of the management team to Digicel for sponsoring our beloved game called cricket. Over 15 years, we have been suffering, longing to see a red ball, a white ball, a pink ball, any ball on the field. And finally, last year, we were able to see 2 months of cricket where the fans came out and cheered their teams, some expressing their desire to see their team win and would have played this ball this way, that way. And I would say, in my opinion, that a cockroach would have played the ball better than him. Because not being able to play cricket for so many years, he would never have been able to do what those on the field were doing. But he criticized because they were not his team, or he praised them when it was his team. So I will say thanks to all the sponsors for bringing back our beloved sport, cricket, in Anguilla. And the players themselves, I must say thanks to you all for making it possible for us to come out and enjoy cricket, even though we know that some of you were over the age of cricket players. You still came out and did your best to make our beloved game I would like to say, finally, thanks to Digicel for providing the 20-foot container of cricket gear. And I hope that it will be put to perfect good use by all teams. And remember that Digicel and other sponsors are good corporate citizens. And we need good citizens to help, especially our youth, in this. So I'm looking forward to a very competitive season this year, and hope that you all will play the game as good sportsmen. And even when you lose in good. Thank you. And so I would like now to thank the management team for organizing Anguilla's second cricket league championship. Thank you all.
And thank you also, Mr. Harrigan. But I also had to recognize a couple persons that I left out. Our match referees, Eustace Proctor and Lawrence Carty. We also have to recognize Oliver McDonough for the work he did last year. We also have to recognize Fungi and the guys who were preparing the wicket, John and I can't remember the other guy, but all the guys who were preparing the wicket, Poti for as the scorer, and Sazam, who was always around helping. So thank you all, and now let's feed our faces. And all those who I might have missed, we still thank you. Thank you, sir.
soon the runs are gonna flow again like water, bringing so much joy to each and every son. Say we gonna rise again like a raging fire. After the sun shines, you know we gon' take it higher. We gotta rally, rally round the West Indies, one forever, yes. Rally, rally round the West Indies, stoke up the fire, way down under a warrior fall. Michael holding falls in the heat of the battle. Michael should have left long time. I heard an angry brother shout, Caribbean man, that is the root of our trouble. Oh, in these tiny theaters of conflict and confusion, better known as the Isles of the West Indies, we already know who brought us here and who created this confusion. So I'm begging my people, please, oh, we got to rally, rally from the West Indies, now and forever, rally, rally from the West Indies, stoke up the fire, cause pretty soon the runs are gonna flow again like water, bringing so much joy to each and every son. We gonna rise again like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we gonna take it higher. But we got to what? Rally, rally on the West Indies, one forever, yeah. Rally, rally on the West Indies, never say never. Now they're making restrictions and laws to spoil our music, but in the end, we shall prevail. This is just not cricket. This thing goes beyond the boundary. It's up to you and me to make sure that they fail. Soon we must take a side or be lost in the rubble in a divided world that don't need islands no more. Are we doomed forever to be at somebody's mercy? Little peace can open up mighty doors. Rally, rally from the West Indies, one forever, yeah. Rally, rally from the West Indies, never say never, no. Pretty soon the runs are gonna flow again like water, bringing so much joy to each and every son. Then we gonna rise again like a raging fire. As the sun shines, you know we gonna take it higher. But we got to what? Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever.
Food is concerned, there is a problem. Woman can't find food, feed the children, while the rich man have the chicken back a feeding.